Hello traders, this is a market overview video. The Bitcoin trading plan for the following week will be at the end of the video, and I have an altcoin surprise as well. There will be timestamps in the description box, so if you're in a hurry, feel free to switch over to wherever it is you find interesting. Let's begin with the DXY, the US dollar index. Why is the US dollar index important? Because it reflects uh, investors' belief in the US dollar as an asset. Bitcoin is traded against the dollar, so if the US dollar is weak, it stands to reason, or at least we hope, that Bitcoin will become stronger. Overall, inflation is going down. If inflation is going down, then the yields on the dollar, on bonds, but it's on the dollar, will go down as well, and the dollar will continue lower. Now, there is no doubt that the US dollar is weak, the DXY is weak. It made a lower high at the end of June. It broke below this upward sloping trend line, based, of course, of the CPI announcement, and inflation is going down. However, it is at support. 103.6 is support for the DXY. And until it loses this level, we cannot yet confirm the downtrend. Okay, this is a higher low, this is an equal low, it's not a downtrend yet. What we need to see is the dollar going below 103.6 and continuation to the downside. What I think is likely to happen next week or in the next few weeks, I'm expecting the DXY to retest this upward sloping trend line. Okay, it was support, it will be tested as resistance, and then it will continue to move lower. However, it's not going to be immediate. Okay, the US dollar is not going to 90 in a week. Okay, first it will try to reclaim the trend line, then it will reject and move lower. It will take time. Overall, it's favorable for Bitcoin, but it's too early to say that the dollar is in a downtrend. Oil is also important because it determines the price of energy. The price of energy determines inflation, and inflation determines the yields on the dollar. So overall, we want to see oil going down. $85 a barrel is the key level to watch. I said so in the previous video as well. Until now, the oil wasn't able to cross above $85 a barrel. It's reasonable because if we are expecting a recession, during a recession, oil goes down. Okay? However, just the same as the dollar, yes, it looks nice, it's favorable, but we need to see a clear rejection and continuation to the downside. Okay, right now, oil is consolidating below resistance, and consolidation below resistance is bullish. Okay, so no confirmation that oil prices are going lower as well. What about gold? Gold is strongly correlated to Bitcoin, and it looks very much like the same chart, almost. Okay, it's in a distribution range. We have a very nice demand zone close to the end of the range, the same as we had with Bitcoin. I don't think that gold is going to break out. Okay, not unless, God forbid, something terrible happens in the world. If something will happen, then yes. Okay, because gold is a flight to safety asset. Otherwise, gold is going to continue lower, not higher. Okay, everyone wants to see gold higher, but this is a distribution schematic, and distribution schematic points the way to the downside. Now the S&P. Why S&P? Because S&P is an indicator of the overall appetite risk of the retail market, okay? Most of the retail market is indirectly invested in the S&P through ETFs, and it's important if the S&P is going down or if it's going to continue higher, my bet, it's not a bet, is that the S&P is at the top or very close to a top. See, it formed a beautiful cup and handle, simply beautiful, and it met the target. Now it's at the top. It's already showing bearish divergences, and I'm expecting a correction, uh, initially a few percentage points, 4 or 5%, but possibly continuation a lot lower. The S&P looks like it's at the top. The Nasdaq seems to confirm this. The Nasdaq was also moving very strongly to the upside. Now we have this doji candle at the top, bearish divergences. I'm expecting the Nasdaq to correct shortly as well. Initially 6% correction, but even a 10, 11% correction is not uh, out of the question at all. I'm expecting the stock market generally to head lower as soon as next week. Look at individual stocks and it confirms it. Look at NVDA. NVIDIA, the same people that buy NVIDIA buy Bitcoin. It's the same, okay? NVIDIA looks toppy, extremely toppy. Look at this swing failure pattern. Look at this rejection, bearish divergences on the weekly. NVIDIA, in my opinion, is going a lot lower, maybe even to $88. Tesla had a nice run. It failed to get above 265. Look at this long-legged doji. Investors now are not so sure about Tesla, okay? So Tesla, as an individual stock, if it gets above 265, it's good for Tesla. It could go higher to 315. But if we use Tesla as an indicator, excuse me, for retail traders, it also looks toppy. Now let's go back to crypto land. Crypto land, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has been going up since November of 2022. It looks as if it is losing this upward sloping channel, but it's not confirmed yet, okay? It is in a range now at the top and in a range, with the range low being 54 cents and the range high being 56 percent, not cents, excuse me, okay? If the Bitcoin dominance will lose the 54%, it could be good news for the altcoin market. However, it didn't happen yet, and you go with the trend until it ends. The trend shows that the Bitcoin dominance is moving higher, not lower, okay? So, no confirmation for an altcoin season yet. Total tree chart, which means the altcoin market, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, was bearish overall. It was going up, but in a rising, broadening wedge, which is a bearish chart formation. It broke down. It broke below support 580 billion. It is testing it from below now, okay? And you go with the trend. It means that odds are that it will fail and move lower to my target between 450 to 480 billion, okay? If it gets above 585, it's bullish and maybe we will have an altcoin season. Now, Bitcoin. Overall, Bitcoin is bearish and I expect continuation to the downside. My target is between 48 to 44, and I expect it to reach 44. I think that the chances are high that it will make it to 44. Now, let's zoom in. After Bitcoin lost the range low, it went as low as 53,000. Then it is now consolidating in a very tight range. Look at this range. Range low 56, range high 58.5. Okay, now don't look at today's price action. Today's price action reflects retail investors. Okay, the institutional traders, the German government, or whoever you want, the executor of Mount Gox, whoever, okay? They are not operating in the markets during the weekend. So it's reasonable that Bitcoin will somewhat correct the price to the upside during the weekend. What tells you everything you need to know is the price action on July 11th. Why? Because on July 11th, we had the CPI reading. We got all the confirmation we needed. Inflation is going down. Unemployment is going up. Okay? Everyone is saying that the Fed is about to cut rates and to cut aggressively. Okay, so I expected price to move to the upside. What happened on July 11th? Swing failure pattern. Look at this candle, okay? It tells you everything you need to know. It tells you that the selling pressure is high, still very high, okay? What happened was that institutional investors used this as an opportunity to sell Bitcoin. So guys, we go with the trend until it ends. The trend is pointing to the downside. My price reversal zone is between the 0.5 and the 0.618 retracement between 43.6 to the most optimistic I can get now is 49.3. Okay. Now, what's the invalidation? First, Bitcoin needs to get above 58.5 and hold it with a retracement, hold it as support. Make this the first higher low. Then it needs to get above 60,800 and hold 60,800 as support. This will be the second higher low. And this is where I will tell you, guys, Bitcoin is bullish. Load up. We are going to 100K. Okay? Until this happens, we are still in a downtrend, okay? So don't play games with your money. Don't be gamblers, okay? If you are extremely bullish on Bitcoin and you're itching for a long trade, let it get above 58.5 and hold it, okay? Then maybe yes, okay. If you're highly favorable to risk, maybe, okay? Maybe, but not before. Until this happens, go with the trend. The trend is showing you the way down, okay? Not up. This is my opinion. I gave you my invalidation. And let's move over to the altcoin surprise, guys. Look at this. Can you guess which asset we are talking about? Let me help you. We are talking about ADA. Who would have thought? ADA overall extremely bearish asset. But ADA was on the verge of losing it altogether. It made it to the 8x1 angle. It found support. It made a double bottom and it has been steadily moving to the upside. Now, it tells you something. When the whole market is extremely weak and only one asset is moving up, it could be a change of behavior. Now, the price action, don't get me wrong, the price action is corrective, extremely corrective. You can see the wicks, how every candle body is moving inside the wick of the previous candle. It is still corrective, but you cannot deny strength, okay? Everything is going down, ADA is going up. Now, is ADA bullish? Not yet. What ADA needs to do to be bullish is either get above 42, okay? Preferably above 43.5, hold it as support. If this will happen, then yes, ADA is bullish again. Or if it retraces now, it needs to hold between the 0.5 and the 0.382, okay? Between 37 cents to 38.4 cents. If it does that, then yes, ADA is bullish. And maybe finally we will see ADA performing according to expectations. Not that anyone has expectations from ADA, but I'm an optimistic guy. Overall, guys, This is the time to go on vacation with your family, to go on walks, to go on runs, to read a book. Don't expect a lot from the market. We are at the summertime, and the summertime is usually a slow grind to the downside, nothing more, okay? That's all I have for you on the market, Bitcoin, and Cardano. I hope it helps, and I will